Today, I'm taking over the worst English team for the next 10 seasons, and that's Newport County. Sitting at the bottom of the table, they're in danger of not even making it to FC 27. Oh my days, this is the worst team I've ever seen in FIFA. But don't you worry, I'm gonna take them from the very bottom all the way to the top by winning absolutely everything and even giving them their first Champions League to make them the world's best team. And well, when I say they're the worst English team, they're actually a club based in Wales that happen to play in League 2. But like I mentioned before, this is the worst team I have ever seen in FC 26. I'm not sure if I could take them to the very top. And usually when you take over a team, they at least have a superb wonder kid or player that's incredible. Well, when it comes to the youngers of Newport County, none of them are special. And our highest rated player literally is a 64 overall. This is not gonna be easy. But of course, our goal in this takeover is not only to take the worst team to the Premier League, but it's to win as many trophies as possible to go ahead and find a tier for the worst team in England. Of course, these tiers are determined by winning trophies and even individual awards like a Ballon d'Or and Golden Boot. But of course, with only 984,000, we're nowhere near any of that. So let's focus on the 3 issues we must solve this season. And the first thing we must set for Newport County is tactics and a brand new formation. And now currently Newport are playing 5 in the back, and trust me, we will not be playing that. And the formation I do want to run with is the 4-3-3 holding. And that is inspired by Prime Real Madrid, who won the 3-peats all those years ago. The second thing I must do is go ahead and set up a youth academy. Because we have very little money, we're gonna have to go ahead and find some talents. But like I mentioned before, we do not have a lot of money to spend, so with the 1-star scout we already do have, and because this is a Wales-based team, of course we're gonna send them to Wales. And the reason I picked the 4-3-3 formation is because throughout these next 10 seasons, I want to find the next Gareth Bale, who is the best Welsh player of all time. And the final problem I must solve is to try and bring in as many quality players as possible. And for that reason, I've gone ahead and transfer listed some players that we're not going to be using to try and make more money. But something that will be very important before transfers is to actually get coaches. Because in a world where we can't afford superstars, these coaches that I've just hired can turn nobodies into absolute superstars. And do I have some great news, as we now have 2 million to spend as we went ahead and sold some players. We're about to make some sick signings. But before we do make any signings, I did find a right winger from Wales named Tony Walker, who has anywhere between 63 to 87 potential. We don't know how good he's going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and sign him to the senior team because he might just be the next Gareth Bale. So Tony Walker has joined the starting 11, and this is the best team we can line up as of right now. And like I mentioned before, there is nobody that looks decent enough other than this guy, our captain, Matty Smith. At 25 years old, dynamic potential could take him to the top. But when it comes to signings, I think we need to go ahead and make a goalkeeper signing, as well as another center back. And if we do have the money, another striker, because I believe Opoku is only here on loan. Now, boys, one problem I did run into is finding a good young goalkeeper. As you can see, someone like Restes, who's probably the best young goalkeeper, has the potential from 82 to 88 and is worth around 41 million, and everybody else is more than 10 million. So when it comes to the goalkeeper position, I found someone incredible in the free agency by the name of Patrick Gunnarsson, just 24 years old at a 69 overall, with a decent amount of potential. He's definitely going to help us get to the next level. So I've gone ahead and brought in Patrick Gunnarsson on an absolute free. However, he wasn't the only one, as I brought in Zach Abbott for 1 million from Nottingham Forest, and a decent Welsh talent for another 1 million in Callum Osman to lead the line. But I just know very soon we're going to be signing some of the world's best players. And now we do have 4 players for the immediate future in this starting 11. But as we're sitting to the end of season number 1, but to forget that our goal is to win as many trophies as possible and maybe become the greatest club of all time, as currently Man United hold that top spot. So subscribe and let me know down below if you think Newport can do it. At the end of the season, these players have done better than I expected. 23 goals for this Bobby Kamwa guy. New signing Osman got 17 goals. Tony Walker got 14 goals. He also went up a +6 to a 59. Maybe he really is the next Gareth Bale. And I can't lie, our new signings grew quite nicely, as Osman went up to a 65. Center back Zach Abbott also went up to a 65, while goalkeeper Gunnarsson has reached a 70 overall. How do we have a 70 overall player in League 2? And this team continues to shock me, as we had 4 team of the season inclusions. And boys, we actually picked up our first Golden Boot winner, our first trophy. That is way quicker than I expected. And we actually did it. We won another trophy as we're promoting to the League 1. I can't lie, I think it was a signing of Gunnarsson that helped us. And boys, let me be honest, I'm shocked that we already have 2 trophies. I think at United it took us 3 seasons to win our first one, but so far so good. And now in season 2 we overachieved, as we're now in League 1, and we must now focus on surviving relegation. And this time around we do have 4 million to spend on transfers to continue and improve this side that we're building. However, I do have a huge decision to make as we received an offer from Kamwa, who was our Golden Boot winner last season. He's only 26 years old and his dynamic potential may have gone up, but if we ever want to get to the very top and win as many trophies and a Champions League eventually, I think I have to accept this offer to use the money to get somebody younger. So there goes our top goal scorer for 1.7 million. He will be going to Spain. And I also sold a couple more players and we now have 6 million to spend on transfers. I think we might actually survive relegation. Of course, when it comes to transfers, we definitely need to replace Camwell with a brand new left winger. And I can't lie, I think we need a new center mid as well as another CDM to go ahead and complete that midfield. And when it comes to replacing Camwell, I have found 2 wonder kids that would be perfect. The first one is Scottish winger Finley Curtis, who's already at a 67 overall. I bet he has some incredible potential. However, the second option is more exciting. It is Wisdom Mike, 67 overall at just 17, playing at Bayern. However, currently he does not want to relocate, and the best option we can get is on here on loan. And I have made the tough decision to bring in Curtis for 2 million on a permanent. Mike would have been the better signing in my opinion. However, there was no guarantee he would join us on a permanent. So for now, we're going for the Scottish man. However, he wasn't the only Rangers signing I made, as for 1.5 million, I brought in Bailey Rice, the CDM from Rangers. And finally, an absolute steal, Thiago Porch from Real Madrid, as he had a release clause of 2 million. Of course, I had to pay that. And now with this brand new starting 11, I'm feeling more confident of surviving relegation, and we might be able to push for the playoff spots. But the question is Tony Walker the special one and will become the next Gareth Bale? Or will I have to find another Welsh right winger to fill in that gap? And boys, at the end of the season, we've overachieved again, as we finished in 4th place, which means we're in the promotion playoffs. And in the semifinals, we beat Blackburn Rovers, which means in the final, we must beat Plymouth Argyle for another trophy and to continue to climb up the ranks. But the question is, are we gonna be able to do it? Can we beat this green team? And no, we lose 5-3, as Abbott and Osman gets a double, but it's not enough to go to the championship. But hey, at least there's good news as our squad continues to grow. Tony Walker has hit a 65 overall. He's falling behind the pack, but it seems like so far he's done great. Welsh striker Osman is now at a 70, while Curtis is at a 72, and the entire midfield is above a 65, and Gunnarsson just keeps growing. This guy was a free agent 2 years ago. And when it comes to the stats, this time Osman was our top goal scorer with 26 goals. Tony Walker seems to be the real deal with 14 and 2. And yes, we have done it. Back-to-back Golden Boot winners gets us our 3rd trophy already. I can't lie, I was expecting this side to become a world-class side with only 15 trophies, but elite and world's best are looking possible right now. And season number 3 is huge, as we've surprisingly been given 10 million to spend. And yes, that does mean we need a brand new center back, left back, and also a right back. And if we have any money left, it will be time for Matty Smith, the captain, to move on from us. But before we make any signings, just take a look at the valuation of our best players. I wonder who's gonna be the first Ballon d'Or winner. And I think I have found the perfect 3 signings to go ahead and lead us to the championship. The first player being Max Cliffwood from Wrexham, who's worth around 6.5 million and is already playing in the championship. And because I'm going for a pricey center back because he has some decent potential, for the fullback positions, I have to go for Brandon Williams, who's worth 4 million, and Hamza Chowdhury from Leicester City, who's going for 2.3 million. So I went ahead and splashed the cash. For 4.8 million, we brought in Clueworth. For 1.7 million, I brought in Hamza Chowdhury. And for 2.5 million, we have brought in the former United player in Brandon Williams. But I just know very soon we're going to be signing some of the world's best players. And now this squad is looking so much stronger than before. We still don't have an out-and-out wonder kid, but these young players will definitely continue to grow with dynamic potential, and we can start winning more trophies and eventually win the Champions League and many more. Another season, another 20 goals for Callum Osman, as this Spellman guy also got 18 goals, but Finley Curtis has finally had a good season, 16 goals and 17 assists. And yeah, boys, I'ma be honest, this team is looking like a championship side other than our captain, Matt Smith. Everybody is above a 70 overall. Hamza Chowdhury, at 30 years old, is still growing. And though this season we do not win the Golden Boots, this would have helped us get to the world class even quicker. But yes, we have done it. We're going to the championship with only 2 losses. But we somehow did not win this Virtu trophy, man. Come on, these squads are all weak. But now 3 seasons in and 4 trophies in total is actually not too bad for the worst team in England. And in season 4, we have arrived in the championship, and just take a look at some of the competition we will have for the Premier League, as Everton somehow relegated to the championship. But this time around, we do have a total of 13 million to spend on this side. And I did mention before, I'm very happy with the team we do have other than our captain Matt Smith. So I think I'm gonna put all of our money on that one position and try to bring in somebody absolutely incredible. And let me tell you, I have found 3 very interesting players. I'm just not sure who to sign. The first option we do have is former Man City flop Tommy Doyle, 78 overall, 26 years old. We could revive his career. The second option we do have is Trey Nioni, a wonder kid from Liverpool, out of 74 overall, 21 years old, has the most potential of our 3 options. And the final option is a very experienced player in Dani Ceballos. He is worth under 14 million and has played for the greatest club of all time. And I have decided to go ahead and meet in the middle, and I'm going for Tommy Doyle for 13 million. I think we can revive his career and make him a future Champions League winner. So Tommy Doyle has joined the starting 11 and is even our brand new captain because he has loads of experience. This team is definitely good enough to survive relegation. I really do hope that we can push for the promotion playoff spots. And at the end of the season, we just made the playoff place in the last position possible. The question is, did we get to the final of the playoffs? And no, it was won by Sheffield as we lost to Everton in the semis. But it's gonna be 0 trophies for us as Brennan Johnson wins the Golden Boot. But I'm just glad that this squad continues to grow. Curtis has reached an 80 overall. Osman is right off it, and our captain Tommy Doyle is at an 80. And once again, our top goal scorer was Callum Osman, so it doesn't seem like he's a problem. 13 and 7 for Curtis, 11 and 2 for Walker. Our attack is absolutely brilliant. And when it comes to clean sheets, the most we had was 10. I think we may need to work on the defense, man. But regardless, it's another season. We do not move up the tiers yet. Let's see what we can do up next. So now in season number 5, we're halfway through these 10 seasons, and we have 12 million to spend. Now, boys, like I mentioned, we're halfway, and I'm very worried that we're not gonna get to win the Champions League if we don't make the right signing this season. On second thought, I think our defense is perfectly fine. I don't think we could get anybody better. I think we need to go ahead and upgrade either the goalkeeper position. Gunnarsson has been incredible, but we need somebody better. Or I hate to say it, a striker or a right winger that can score way more goals than these two have had. That's the only way we get to the Premier League at the end of this season. And I went ahead and found 3 options for all those 3 positions. The first one being the goalkeeper in Alexander Nubel, 82 overall at 32 years old. He does fit the price range of what we currently have. Second option we do have is a striker in Dominic Solanke and could maybe get us enough goals to get to the Premier League this season. And the final option, it is Federico Chiesa. At 31 years old, 81 overall is very affordable. But that would mean Tony Walker would have to take a backseat, either sitting on the bench or go out on loan, which could stop him from becoming the next Gareth Bale. And boys, I have made the tough decision and I'm bringing in Federico Chiesa for 10 million. This guy is a Euros winner, but that does mean that Tony Walker will be going out on loan for the foreseeable future. But don't you worry, as long as he continues to succeed, that right wing spot will be his when he's better than Chiesa. So of course now this is the brand new lineup and there is no chance we don't promote to the Premier League with a Euros winner in our side. But let's hope I didn't make a mistake by loaning out Tony Walker. And at the end of the season, we finished in 5th place once again in the playoffs. But this time we beat West Ham in the semi-finals and we're in the final against Birmingham City. I hope I made the right decision in signing Chiesa. But the question is, can we do it? Can we promote to the Premier League? Can Chiesa and the rest of the team get us there? And it's a 3-0 victory as Williams, Doyle, and Chiesa send us to the Premier League. But that wasn't our only trophy, as Chiesa is the Golden Boot winner with 26 goals. I made the right decision, man. And of course, we were nowhere near winning the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. And what a season Chiesa had with his 26-3, but Walker was loaned out to Stoke where he scored 17-3. And I cannot believe this. He went up a plus 13. I think we still made a mistake, but thankfully he's coming back next season. I think he is the next Gareth Bale. But 16-9 for Curtis, 14-2 for Osman, and the rest of the stats were pretty good. And just take a look at this team, man. Curtis is now at an 84. Almost everybody but the center backs and Chowdhury are at an 80. This team is ready for the next step, and that is the Premier League. But now with 6 trophies to our name, we're getting close to that world-class spots. And now that we're in the Premier League, we have a chance to win the Champions League and of course have Ballon d'Or winners. And in season number 6, Tony Walker is back, now at an 87 overall. And this is what the squad is looking like in the first year in the Premier League. It's very clear that we need to improve all of this back line as much as possible, and we will have 44 million to do so. So I went ahead and brought in 3 Premier League proven players to help us survive relegation. And the first one being for 11.5 million, 80 overall Carl Washworth from Brighton. For 17 million, 82 overall Wesley Fofana from Chelsea. And finally for 15 million, Try Hume, the right back from Sunderland, who's now at an 80 overall. And I can't lie, this squad is is looking pretty good. I think we'll be fine and not relegate down to the championship. But it's going to be up to Tony Walker to go ahead and carry us to become a world-class side. And it's a brilliant season for Tony Walker in the Prem with 23, Curtis with 14-4, 10 goals for Callum Osmond. And the growth is looking absolutely phenomenal here. Tony Walker's about to hit a 90 overall. Curtis is now at an 87. Our midfield is looking absolutely great. Our defensive back line is slowly improving. But unfortunately, we did not get a Golden Boot winner as Haaland won it, but Tony Walker wasn't that far behind. And when it comes to the Premier League, it's a decent first season, finishing in 14th place. We're so far off from winning the Premier League. But the FA Cup was won by Liverpool, and the Carabao Cup was won by Burnley of all teams. And of course, we didn't have a Ballon d'Or winner as Desiree Doué takes it home. And now going into season number 7, we're still at 6 trophies. There's still time to get as high as elite, but you just never know what can happen in these next 4 seasons. And to kick off season number 7, we have been given 60 million. It's still not enough to bring in an absolute superstar, but this could help us sign a world-class player. And if we're taking a look at the lineup, everybody is looking pretty good. I think it's time to replace Zach Abbott in that center back spot. And there is only one player I want to replace him with. That is 85 overall Kuzanov, who's absolutely in his prime. I think he can help us go ahead and get European football. So I've gone ahead and spent all 60 million on Kuzanov as he now joins the starting 11. And that defense is looking absolutely incredible. However, I'm disappointed we're yet to bring in a superstar attacker or midfielder. If we don't win any trophies soon, we might have to sell somebody to go ahead and bring in a superstar player. And yes, this time around we finished in 6th place, which means we will have Conference League football next season, getting so much closer to the Champions League. But once again, we missed out on the FA Cup as well as the Carabao Cup. No trophies in the Prem so far. And when it comes to the Golden Boot, Callum Osmond just misses out by 3 goals to Mikel, man. This close. But it's another great season for our players. 23-1 for Osmond, 19-3 for Walker, 13-8 for Curtis. And this squad just continues to improve as Tony Walker has hit a 90 overall. And Curtis is right behind them at an 89. Everybody else, though, is growing quite nicely, but I think we're lacking a superstar, man. Players on the level of Lamine Yamal and Desiree Doué are going to be the ones to help us dominate English football. As this year's Ballon d'Or winner is a French player by the name of Roux, a 96 overall and plays for Bayern Munich. That's going to be tough competition to beat. But now with 3 seasons to go, we still have 6 trophies left. It may not be possible to become the GOAT side, but I still believe we can get to that elite side. But most importantly, the goal is to win the Champions League. However, there's terrible news as in season 8 we were only given 39 million. That's not enough to take us to the next level. And boys, I think it's time to go ahead and make a sacrifice. I think we need a superstar in this team to help us win as many trophies as possible in these last 3 seasons. And I don't think it's going to be Tony Walker. He's been absolutely incredible, and so has Callum Osmond. So I think the player I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice is Finley Curtis, 25 years old, 89 overall. As good as he's been, we need a world-class player. And here we go for 220 million. Finley Curtis will be going to Liverpool. Yes, to a direct rival, but he isn't the superstar to go ahead and lead us to the Champions League. And boys, I have found the perfect superstar to help us win as many trophies as possible. And that player is 27-year-old, 90 overall Kenan Yildiz. It's time we sign somebody like him to go ahead and help us win the Champions League. And maybe he could be our Ballon d'Or winner. So for a whopping 110 million, we're bringing in one of the world's best players to hopefully try and secure trophies in these last 3 seasons here at Newport. However, he wasn't the only superstar. As for 80 million, I have brought in Mike Penders. The next Thibaut Courtois is now at an 86 overall. I'm telling you right now, we're winning trophies this season. And now, taking a look at this side, there is no chance we don't win a single trophy this season. Because if we don't, we're never gonna climb up the tiers, we're never gonna win the Ballon d'Or, and we're never gonna win the Champions League. And I can't believe this, but Curtis, the man we got rid of, won the Golden Boot in only 29 appearances. Kenan Yildiz just missed out, man. But don't worry, because we won our first Premier League. I think I made the right decision. And we also won the FA Cup against FC Bournemouth. That's 2 trophies, man. And make that 3 with the Carabao Cup. We have won the domestic treble. I cannot believe this. And we also won the Europa League. Every trophy we took part, we won. That now puts us at 10 trophies, 5 more, and we'll become a world-class side. And boys, just take a look at this squad. Walker is still going strong at a 92. Kenan Yildiz passed them at a 93. Bailey Rice and Pittarch have hit the 90 squad as well as Penders. And Tony Walker was our top goal scorer, 32 goals and 3 assists. Is he an outside shout for our first Ballon d'Or? Kenan Yildiz with 29 and 18, 28 and 2 for Osman. And no, Walker did not win the Ballon d'Or as Mohamed Dovi won the Ballon d'Or. And apparently it's Kvaratskhelia regen, 92 overall, playing in PSG. All of these regens winning the Ballon d'Or except mine. But now in season number 9, we're finally getting money, 104 million. I don't have to sell anybody. And with 2 seasons left to go, I think we need to bring in another superstar, and I think it's gonna be a striker. Osman's been great, but Walker is not getting replaced. And I think I want to go for Sir Bobby Charlton, who's playing at FC Barcelona. It's our first season in the Champions League, and I think he can maybe win it for us. So for exactly 100 million, we're bringing in 89 overall Sir Bobby Charlton. We now have a superstar left winger, striker, and right winger. We should continue to win trophies, and I think this is the year we get a Ballon d'Or winner. And this is what the Newport County starting 11 is looking like. I'm really hoping we can win more trophies, 5 more, and we'll become a world-class team. And it seems I was proven wrong, as Callum Osman is a top goal scorer with 39 goals and 2 assists, completely outperforming Endrick, who only got 4. Maybe I should have trusted my veterans. But yo, this gets 38 and 16, 22 and 11 for Walker, as the midfield does pretty decent. And the growth of the squad continues, as absolutely everybody's above a 90, except Fofana, Williams, and Trail Hughes. But yes, we have gotten a first Golden Boot win in the Premier League, and it's Yildiz. We add another trophy. And yes, we have won back-to-back Premier Leagues by 15 points, very convincingly. And we also win the Community Shield against Bournemouth. And we also win the FA Cup. That brings our total to 14. One more, and we become a world-class side. And yes, we have won the Carabao Cup. Newport County is officially a world-class side. And sadly, I don't think we'll become an elite one. However, we're still trying to win the Champions League and at least get one Ballon d'Or winner. But we also won the UEFA Super Cup. And boys, we are actually in the Champions League final against Bilbao. Why is it always them? And of course, it won't be easy because Liam Delap is one of the top goal scorers, but Callum Osman has been cooking in the Champions League. But these guys also have the likes of Nico Williams, Huge Milan, and Anjos. No idea who these guys are, but they're cooking. But it's time for the UCL final. The worst team in England is here, but Pitarchis is injured and Fofana is suspended. Can we do it with a season left to go? And it's going to be a 3-1 loss, as Yildiz gets our only goal of the game. Let's go. We have gotten our first Ballon d'Or winner in Kenan Yildiz, as he joins the Takeover Hall of Fame. And just remember, every takeover we do, every Ballon d'Or winner will be included here. So leave your predictions down below who will be here in the future. So going into our final season, this is what our squad is looking like. And to be honest, I will not be making any changes. There is one thing left to do, the goal of the entire takeover, and it's to win the Champions League with the worst team in England, who are no longer the worst. And we have reached the end of the final season, and Callum Osman, 40 goals. I cannot believe that I signed Endrick. 24 and 20 for Yildiz, 21 and 7 for our own Gareth Bale. I'm so glad we kept them. But this is the final squad of the entire takeover. We've made some superstar signings. Comment down below who was your favorite. But yes, we have gotten another Ballon d'Or winner. That's 18 trophies. And we actually win a 3rd Premier League in a row. That's 19. And make that 20 with the Community Shield. Can we actually make it to elite level? And make that 21 with the FA Cup. But we failed to win the Champions League, which means it's impossible to get to 25. But it's our last chance to win the Champions League, as we finished in 2nd place in the group. And in the round of 16, we beat Tottenham. In the quarterfinals, we beat Bilbao, who beat us in the final last year. And in the semis, we beat Sociedad, as we're facing Liverpool. Is Curtis still there? When it comes to the top goal scorers, Callum Osman leads the Champions League, and Kenan Yildiz is also there. But Liverpool have Kofane, no idea who that is. But yes, it seems like they still have Curtis, and he has been their best player. While Harvey Elliott, Florian Wirtz, and Nioni, a player we almost signed, is also there. But the question is Curtis gonna get paid back? The chance to win the Champions League with the worst team in England. Can we finally go ahead and do it? And it's a 1-0 victory, as Wesley Fofana scores the winner, and we win the Champions League with the worst team. And our very own Gareth Bale has won the Ballon d'Or, joining the Takeover Hall of Fame. If you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen and watch me play the entire career of Lennart Karl.